Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unit 7 Holidays and Traditions. Here on the first page, we have some pictures, and the description of the pictures are for the United States, we have Thanksgiving dinner in the United States, featuring the traditional main dish of roast turkey. In Japan, we have a picture of people picnicking and viewing the cherry blossoms at a hanami party in Japan. We have a picture from Mexico of some friends who have come together for quinceañera to celebrate a girl's 15th birthday and her entry into adulthood in Mexico. We have a picture of a couple dressed in the traditional hanbok during the Korean holiday of Chuseok. And finally, we have from Brazil a picture of dancers in the fantastic costumes of Brazil's world famous yearly celebration of Carnaval. Okay, here we have some conversation questions that we could discuss in class. For example, as for the pictures, look at the photos. Which traditions are you already familiar with? Which ones would you like to know more about and why? Okay. Regarding the traditions that we have um, read about, and we have a discussion topic that we could talk about in class. Why do people think it's important to keep traditions alive? Do you think it's important to learn about the customs and traditions of other cultures? Explain your reasons. Okay? We might take some few minutes in the class to talk about that. Okay? Then we have a photo story uh, that is a conversation between two women. Okay? Let's listen to the conversation.
Page 75. Exercise C. Photo story. Read and listen to a conversation about holiday traditions.
Wow, that dress your sister's wearing is gorgeous. What was the occasion?
Oh, that was for Chuseok. The dress is called a hanbok.
Did you say Chuseok? What's that? A holiday?
That's right. It's a traditional Korean holiday. It takes place in September or October each year to celebrate the harvest.
So, does everyone dress up like that?
Some people do.
So, what else does everyone do on Chuseok?
We get together with our relatives and we eat a lot.
Well, that sounds nice.
Not only that, but we go to our hometowns and visit the graves of our ancestors.
So, I suppose the airports and train stations are mobbed with people, right?
Totally. And the traffic is impossible. It takes hours to get anywhere.
I think every country's got at least one holiday like that.
What holiday comes to mind for you?
It reminds me of Eid al-Adha, a 4-day religious holiday we celebrate where I come from.
In what way?
Well, people put on their best clothes and we eat a ton of great food. We also travel to be with our relatives and visit the graves of our loved ones who have died.
How about that? Sounds just like our holiday.
Okay, so we heard a girl describing one holiday in her country. Okay, we are supposed to be able to describe holidays in our country like that. Okay, and um, we have some new vocabulary that we could talk about it in class. And of course, we have to talk about a traditional holiday in our country, in this case, in Spain. Okay? Um, we could we could just give a brief of that holiday. So um, we are going to complete a chart about traditions in our country, in Spain, okay? And we're going to talk about them with the class. We're going to collaborate to find, for example, a special type of clothing in Spain. What is the name of a special type of clothing? Okay, not necessarily a costume, but maybe a type of clothing. And when it is worn, okay, if you wear it in uh, for for a special event or something like that, okay. We're also going to find from Spain a type of music, a special dish, a traditional dance, and a special event in in Spain. For the second lesson, lesson 1, we're going to wish someone a good holiday. We're going to learn how to wish someone a good holiday. Let's listen to the conversation model.
Page 76. Conversation Model. Exercise A. Read and listen to a conversation about a holiday.
I heard there's going to be a holiday next week.
That's right, the Harvest Moon Festival.
What kind of holiday is it?
It's a seasonal holiday that takes place in autumn. People spend time with their families and eat mooncakes.
Well, have a great Harvest Moon Festival.
Thanks. Same to you.
Okay, according to the book, we have 3 types of holidays. According to the book, seasonal holidays are holidays that belong to a specific season. Okay, something related to, I don't know, spring, summer, autumn. We have historical holidays, okay, to remember facts of the past, and we have religious holidays, okay, to fulfill some beliefs, okay. In this case, in order to wish a good holiday, we used this expression. Well, have a great Harvest Moon Festival, okay? Have a great holiday. So, here we have some ways to commemorate a holiday. Let's listen to the vocabulary. These are things that we can do, okay? And we're going later to find each of these words or each of these expressions or traditions in our country and see what what holiday they are related to. Let's listen.
Page 76. Vocabulary. Ways to commemorate a holiday. Exercise A. Read and listen.
Set off fireworks. March in parades. Have picnics.
Pray. Send cards. Give each other gifts.
Wish each other well. Remember the dead. Wear costumes.
Okay, now we're going to find some traditions, some holidays, some days, some moments in Spain that we, for example, set off fireworks, or some events that there are march in parades, people march in parades, for example, or people have picnics. Okay, so um, here we have 3 foreign uh, traditions, okay, holidays. We're going to listen about them, okay, so that we can know a little bit more about them.
Page 77. Vocabulary. Exercise C. Listening comprehension. Listen and use the vocabulary to complete the chart. Listening 1.
There are Mardi Gras celebrations in many places in the world, but the Mardi Gras celebrations in New Orleans in the United States are world famous. Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday and usually occurs in February. It began as a religious holiday in which people could really enjoy themselves before the more solemn Catholic celebration of Lent. Now, it's considered to be the biggest party in the world, and people travel from all over to enjoy the celebrations. On this day, people wear really wild costumes and dance in a huge parade to New Orleans' famous jazz music. Along the parade route, people in the parade throw purple, green, and gold-colored necklaces, candy, and other things to the people who are watching.
Listening 2.
Celebrated on July 14th, Bastille Day is France's most important national holiday. It celebrates the attack on the hated Bastille prison, which marked the beginning of the French Revolution that led to modern France. It's a joyous holiday in which people celebrate being French. You can see people dancing in the streets together and eating all kinds of food. Usually in the morning, there are military parades with French flags flying all over. And in the evening, fireworks are set off and families sit together to watch them.
Listening 3.
Sagansar, or White Month, is a celebration of the Lunar New Year in Mongolia. It's held for 3 days in February or March. Before the first day of the celebration, families clean every corner of their house. During this time, people wear new clothes, usually traditional Mongolian clothing, and they make lots of traditional foods. They also give each other gifts, and especially enjoy giving gifts to their children. One of the ways Mongolians really enjoy themselves during this holiday is to watch wrestling matches and horse races. All these activities symbolize starting the new year clean, rich, and happy.
So, now we know a little bit more about these foreign traditions, okay? Now, adjective clauses with subject-relative pronouns who and that, okay? Adjective clauses identify or describe people or things, okay? A mariachi singer is someone who sings traditional Mexican music. Carnaval is a great holiday for people that like parades. Anyone who doesn't wear a costume can't go to the festival, okay? So it's quite easy for us to use these type of clauses. They are almost the same as in Spanish. Use that and not who for things. Thanksgiving is a celebration that takes place in November. The parade that commemorates Bastille Day is very exciting. You cannot say Thanksgiving is a celebration who takes place. That's kind of obvious for us. Okay, finally, here we have some ways to exchange some wishes on holidays. For example, have a nice holiday. Have a good holiday. Have a great holiday. Okay? Enjoy yourself on your holiday. For example, oh, enjoy yourself on Christmas. Enjoy yourself on Carnival, for example. Enjoy yourself on St. Joseph's Day, for example. You too, same to you. That's the way that we express good wishes or wish other people to have a good holiday. So, for lesson number 2, we have ask about local customs, okay? Let's see the conversation.
Page 78. Conversation model. Exercise A. Read and listen to a conversation about local customs.
Do you mind if I ask you about something?
Of course not. What's up?
I'm not sure about the customs here. If someone invites you for dinner, should you bring the host a gift?
Yes, it's a good idea. But the gift that you bring should be inexpensive.
Would it be appropriate to bring flowers?
Definitely.
Thanks. That's really helpful.
So, now we can talk about asking, okay, about local customs, okay? Would it be appropriate to bring flowers? Would it be appropriate to do this, to do that? Okay, we have talked a lot about that, but we might talk a little bit more for this class. Here we have adjective clauses with object relative pronouns who, whom, and that. Okay. The person who comes for dinner should bring a gift. Okay, that is a clause that is embedded in the main sentence. Okay, it's not like the another clause that is to the end. It is between, in the middle. The person who you invite for dinner, okay, the person whom you invite for dinner, the person that you invite for dinner should bring a gift. Okay, the person you invite for dinner should bring a gift. You can omit when the word when the relative pronoun is the object of the clause, it may be omitted. Okay, the person that you invited, the person you invited. Okay, and here we have some traditions. Okay, for example, putting butter on a child's nose is a birthday tradition that people observe on the Atlantic coast of Canada. Okay. On the Day of the Dead, Mexicans remember family members who have died. For example, the tomatoes that people throw them, the tomatoes that people throw each other during La Tomatina in Buñol, Spain, make a terrible mess. Okay, so we can talk a little bit about these traditions and if we know similar traditions maybe in other countries or in other cultures. Okay, and we have again some ideas to talk um, about what is appropriate or not. Okay, for example, someone invites you out for dinner. If someone invites me out for dinner, what should I do? It seems like logical, but let's try to use the relative clauses that we're studying to describe that situation. Someone invites you to a party. Hmm. Someone gives you a gift. Hmm. Someone makes a special effort to help you. What should we do in those cases? Okay. What are we supposed to do? We have talked about this a lot before, but anyway, we can take some few seconds to give our opinions. Now, for lesson 3, we have a listening. Exchange information about holidays. Okay, let's let's see. Look at the photos and names of the holidays in the reading. Okay, we have in here a lot of people, and the description is worshippers pray during Ramadan. We have in here kind of uh, a dragon, uh, a dragon figure maybe. Uh, and the description is dragon dancers chase away evil spirits using the dragon. And in here we have a statue of Simon Bolivar. Um, Bolivar led the fight for independence. Yeah, actually, Simon Bolivar's birthday is actually a very important holiday in Venezuela. So, how would you categorize each holiday? historical, seasonal, or religious? Are you familiar with any of these holidays? What do you know about them? Okay, so let's listen.
Page 80. Reading. Read and listen. Holidays around the world.
Ramadan, the month of fasting. May you be well throughout the year is the typical greeting during Ramadan, the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, a special occasion for over 1 billion Muslims throughout the world. According to Islamic tradition, Ramadan marks the time when Muhammad received the word of God through the Quran. Throughout the month, Muslims fast, totally abstaining from food and drink from the break of dawn until the setting of the sun. It is also a time of increased worship and giving to the poor and the community. Ramadan ends with a festival of Eid al-Fitr, 3 days of family celebrations and eating.
The Chinese New Year. The Chinese New Year is celebrated by Chinese around the world and marks the beginning of the first month in the Chinese calendar. The celebration usually takes place in February and lasts for 15 days. Before the holiday begins, families clean out their houses to sweep away bad luck, and they decorate their doors with red paper and big Chinese characters for happiness, wealth, and longevity. The night before, families gather together for a delicious meal. Outside, people set off firecrackers that make loud noises all through the night. In the morning, children wish their parents a healthy and happy New Year and receive red envelopes with money inside. It is customary for people to give each other small gifts of fruits and sweets and to visit older family members. In the street, lion and dragon dancers set off more firecrackers to chase away evil spirits.
Simón Bolívar's birthday. Simón Bolívar was born on July 24, 1783, in Caracas, Venezuela. He is known throughout Latin America as the Liberator because of his fight for independence from Spain. He led the armies that freed Venezuela, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Panama. He is memorialized in many ways, but 2 countries celebrate his birthday every July 24th, Venezuela and Ecuador. On that day, schools and most general businesses are closed, and there are military parades and government ceremonies. But the malls are open, and people usually use the holiday to go shopping.
Okay, now that we know about these 3 holidays, okay, we can categorize them and talk a little bit about them, not so much, but we can talk a little bit about them and get to know them better. Okay, here we have a chart, kind of a chart that is a reading comprehension chart. We're going to make them again. We're going to make them a conversation topic. Okay, so in this case, for example, we have give each other gifts. Okay, wear costumes, pray, wish each other well. Okay, in Spain, in our culture in here, when do we do all of those things? Okay, and which holiday from the reading do you find the most interesting and why? Okay, and here we have another chart to know or learn or master how to describe holidays. Okay, for example, a historical holiday in Spain. Okay, what is the name of the holiday, the purpose, the typical food, the typical music, if there's any, the typical clothing, and other traditions. Okay, the same for a seasonal holiday and a religious holiday. Okay, this should be a good conversation topic for the class. Well, for lesson 4, the book wants to talk about wedding. Okay, wedding. And when getting married, okay, we have some events. Okay, we have the engagement. Okay, um, the marriage ceremony. The ceremony. Okay, is the set of actions that formally makes two single people become a married couple. Okay, signing a document, maybe receiving some type of blessing from a religious authority. Okay, a wedding is a formal marriage ceremony, especially one with a religious service. And a reception, okay, is a large formal party after the wedding ceremony. And the honeymoon is a vacation taken by the two newlyweds after their wedding. We have the people. As for the people, we have the fiancé, okay, with one E, is the man. The fiancée is the woman when they get engaged. The bride and the groom are the boyfriend and girlfriend before they get married. That specific day of the ceremony, they become the bride and groom. And the newlyweds are the bride and groom immediately after the wedding. Okay? Read about wedding traditions in many English-speaking countries. How are these similar or different from traditions practiced in your country? Okay? For example, as for the bride throws the bouquet after the wedding ceremony. The woman who catches it is believed to be the next to get married. Is it the same in Spain? The newlyweds cut the cake together at the wedding reception. Hmm. The groom carries the bride across the threshold through the doorway to their new home. Soon after the wedding, they go on their honeymoon. Okay? So here we have some different, some traditional weddings from other countries. Okay, from India, we can compare that to our traditional wedding in Spain. Okay, here we have some uh, proverbs and sayings. Okay, about wedding, and the book is asking us to discuss what do you think each one means. For example, marry off your son when you wish, marry off your daughter when you can. That's a saying from Italy. So, do you agree? Do you agree? From Ireland, marriages are all happy. It's having breakfast together that causes all the trouble. Hmm, hmm, okay. Marriage is just friendship if there are no children. Okay, that is a belief from South Africa. The woman cries before the wedding and the man after. That's from Poland. Advice to the bride: wear something old and something new, something borrowed and something blue. From the United Kingdom. That's super, super common. Okay, so we have in here some proverbs to talk about, and I guess that we could get some time to talk about them. Okay, and make a list of wedding traditions in your country. Okay, if your cousin, for example, or I don't know, a friend is getting married, okay, what do they or what do people usually do before the wedding? And what about at the wedding ceremony? And what about after the wedding? What happens in those moments? So, To finish the unit, okay, the book is giving us some grammar practice in here and to check if we are aware of the cultural holidays that we have just learned. For example, a groom is a man who has just gotten married. Okay? Eid al-Adha is a religious holiday that, do you remember? A honeymoon is a vacation when or where, do you remember? Okay. We also have in here some kind of talking, okay, explanation talking. For example, it asks us to describe um, some type of holiday or tradition that we know from another culture or even in our culture, okay, and asks us to compare if possible. Well, the point is, what kind of holiday is it? Let's imagine I want to talk about Simon Bolivar's birthday. Okay, what kind of a holiday is it? Historical, seasonal, religious? When is it celebrated? Okay, on July 24th, for example. How is it celebrated? Okay, schools are closed. Most people don't have to go to work. There are some parades, for example. What do people do? What do people eat? What do people say? What do people wear? Okay, anything that could be important to describe the holiday, this is the moment to to say it. Okay, so here we have something called the Songkran Water Festival. Okay, celebrated in Thailand, lasts for 3 days. Okay, marks the start of the Buddhist New Year, beginning of the farming season. We might talk a little bit about this, okay, and check if give our opinions about it. We also have the Mexican Independence Day, okay, celebrated on September 15th and 16th. It commemorates the beginning of the War of Independence, Mexico's independence from Spain. People march in parades, perform traditional music and dances, decorate with the colors of the Mexican flag, red, white, and green, etc. Okay? So we might talk about this in class, okay? We don't need to study this, we just could talk about it in class, okay? So this is all the material for today. We're going to watch the videos, okay? And then the video is going to finish. So see you in class. Take care.
I don't know. I didn't know that planning a wedding would be so hard.
Marie, could you give us your opinion on a few things?
I'd love to.
First, how many people should we invite? Bob wants a small wedding.
20 guests would be nice.
I want a large wedding. About 300 people.
300? Yesterday you said 200.
I have a lot of relatives who want to come.
Then there's the location. I always thought I'd get married in a park or at the beach.
That's so romantic.
I would like to get married indoors, where I won't get wet if it's raining.
That makes sense.
I prefer traditional music in the ceremony.
Contemporary music.
I'd like a long ceremony and a short reception.
I want a short ceremony and a huge celebration afterwards.
I want a white cake.
And I want...
a chocolate cake. I know.
How are we ever gonna agree on this?
Don't hurt yourself. Here's an idea that might work. Plan a wedding that's big enough to include all of Cheryl's family, Sorry, Bob. In the park on Oak Street that has that building where you can go if it rains. You can have traditional music in the ceremony and contemporary music at the party. And you could have 2 cakes at the reception, 1 white and 1 chocolate.
Sounds okay to me.
Me too.
Hey, we did it!
Oh, yay! Oh, I'm so happy.
Excuse me?
Oh, Marie, thank you so much.
You're amazing. We couldn't have done it without you.
Hi. Lunchtime is over. Are you coming up to the office?
I'm too tired to go back to the office. Planning a wedding is hard work. I need a holiday.
Let's make today a holiday. We'll tell Mr. Evans we can't come back to work.
That's a great idea.
What are we celebrating?
You're getting married. How about National Wedding Day?
What happens on National Wedding Day?
I don't know. Why am I the one who has to think of everything?
Why don't we make it National Singles Day instead? All the married people give gifts to their single friends.
No, buying gifts is hard work. I want to enjoy myself on our new holiday.
What about a red day? Everybody wears red clothes, and there's dancing in the street that goes on all night.
How about National Buy Your Friend Another Cup of Coffee?
Nice try.
How about National On Time Day?
What happens on National On Time Day?
You remind one another to come back to work on time.
Happy holiday.
Waitress.
You're from Germany. What is a wedding like in Germany?
Well, first of all, you have to have a civil ceremony where you go to the city hall, and you make everything official. And then traditionally, you go to church and have the religious ceremony.
And is there a wedding reception afterward?
Usually there is, of course. After church, when everybody's waiting for the groom and the bride coming out and throwing rice at them and flowers, and then the whole crew is going to a nice place, having dinner and having a party.
You mentioned that your family's originally from Ghana.
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about the courtship and marriage ceremonies of your country?
There is a traditional, sometimes they do involve like the American type of wedding, the very traditional, you walk down the aisle, but they also, there is also the traditional part in African culture. And you wear the clothing, the outfits, it's much longer. Sometimes it can go into the next day. Some people it extends.
Tell me about the reception.
They find a place to go to, or it's outside. Sometimes it's a big tent. Like, it just depends on the bride and groom and what they want. And there's tons of dancing, traditional dancing, eating, lots of food. Sometimes you have somebody come in and talk about how they know him and how good he is and what he's done, and people giving thoughts of wisdom of how to be together, and it's just really a great thing.
thoughts drift away before they've begun. I sit in my room in the darkness and gloom, just waiting for someone to take me to a tourist town with parties in the street and people dancing to a joyful sound. It's a song that people sing, it's the laughter that you bring on an endless holiday. It's the happiness inside, it's a roller coaster ride on an endless holiday. I try and I try to work hard, but I get lost in a daze. And I think about how sad life is without a few good holidays. I close my eyes, pull down the shade. In my imagination, I am dancing in a big parade. And the music is loud, I get lost in the crowd on an endless holiday. It's a picnic at noon, it's a trip to the moon on an endless holiday. With flags and confetti, wild costumes and a great big marching band, as we wish each other well in a language we all understand. The sky above fills with